So my child is almost 3 right now. And so we are right in the middle of peak toddler big emotions. And those of you who have children of that age in your life or have had children of that age in your life know that not only are the emotions big, but they are also really rapidly changing. Like you could be having a grand old time playing in the kitchen, and like a second later, a huge emotional storm is happening, right? And you kind of get taken aback. What just happened? Wait a minute. Did I miss something? And it's so interesting because I find that in those moments, the emotional rescue method is extremely important. And the key thing for me is that it's not that I'm trying to apply the emotional rescue method to my child. The first thing and most important thing is that I'm doing it. So step 1 in the emotional rescue method is mindful gap. And we talk about 3 components of mindful gap being feel, hold, and look. So picture me in my kitchen playing with my toddler, everything's going great. And then all of a sudden, big emotional storm comes. And the first thing that I have to try to remember is feel, hold, look. Looking at my own emotional reaction, how it's rippling through my body. It might be surprise, it might be confusion, it might be irritation at times. Or depending upon how much sleep I've gotten, impatience. It could be a whole set of emotions rippling through me. But by practicing feel, hold, and look, mindful gap, I'm able to really stay in touch and in tune with what's happening for me. And by even creating a space just right then in the moment in the kitchen between myself and my emotion, creates this opportunity for me to work with the emotion, the energy of the emotion. And that's critical. Just to press pause there for a moment, just that momentary gap. Now, I'm with a toddler, so it's not like I can say to them, excuse me, honey, I need to take a mindful gap right now. Could you just hold on with your big emotion? I'll be right back, okay? No, you have to practice it right in the moment. And of course, another aspect there is practicing it in less heated moments so that when you get into a hot moment like that, there's a muscle memory there that will allow you to kind of remember to do it. And it takes practice. It's like a forever practice. But I can say that the more that you do it, the more you practice it, the more the muscle memory is there available for you. So practicing feel, hold, look, watching the energy of the emotions rippling through my body, pausing, not not rejecting the emotion, not indulging it, and just, looking directly at the energy as it's appearing in my body. Just by doing that, it's already taking my own emotional temperature down, so to speak. And they say that not just for toddlers, I think it's the case for all humans, that in order to then have a conversation with or communicate with my child who is having big emotions, you first have to connect with them. Nothing new, no information or teaching or anything like that is going to go in their brain if they themselves are not regulated yet, which of course with co-regulation means that you as the parent or the other person have to be regulated and grounded. So the metaphor that people use sometimes is like, let's say my kid in that situation went from the ground floor in an elevator up to the 11th floor, right? So you can't really teach anything to the child when they're still on the 11th floor. If you get in the elevator and go up to the 11th floor with them, meaning you let your own emotions also get activated and agitated, Then both of you are on the 11th floor and nobody's getting back out down to the ground floor. So first you have to make sure that you're grounded and help them to come back down to the ground floor through your presence. No one in the history of time has ever calmed down by someone saying, would you just please calm down? Right? It doesn't work like that, especially with a little one. At that age, their brain hasn't developed the ability to regulate their own emotions. So they're actually relying on us as the adults and caregivers to be their external emotion regulation system. So that's why emotional rescue method has been so useful for me as a parent in that situation. Is I practice mindful gap, ground myself, help my child to come back down to the ground floor, and then we can start to communicate. And I can't validate them and help them to come back down to the ground floor and validate their feelings unless I'm connected to mine. If I come out of my body and jump into their agitated big emotions body, then we're both in trouble. And nothing good really usually comes from that. So this is something that happens all the time now. And the funny thing is that it's useful, that same exact method that or scenario that I just mentioned to you. Here's a pro tip. It doesn't just work for toddlers, it works for everyone. So try it out and see. And I'm trying to practice it enough times so it's in my own muscle memory. And I don't always get it right, but every time I do it, it creates a new neural pathway for me to remember to do it again. And so imagine what it would be like in our world if we were all doing that for each other. I think it would create a really different atmosphere of kindness and peacefulness. And I think we could probably all agree that it's very sorely needed in our world today.